I would like examine the building with steel frame and with brace and viscous damper. In this model, the first calculated parameter for example, FEMA column, steel type component, and for example box. This parameter you have a cross sections defined and elastic calculated parameter elastic stiffness and basic relationship. This parameter you can calculate it in Excel. I show you this parameter, obtain this parameter, and yield surface and stress loss and deformation capacity and cyclic degradations. In for this parameter, I go to the Excel. In Excel, for example, you should export in SAP 2000. Export in SAP 2000 is in import export to Excel, and you should define write the code for obtains strength for the column. For example, P compression and P tensions and P lower and upper, and parameter ASCE, ABC, and IOLSCP for and this P lower and P upper, and this copy and paste into the this parameter for the perform. For example, this P tensions and P compressions, axial two building, axial three building for the FEMA column, and for the other obtains this for example other element, for example beam, for example FEMA beam. FEMA with this parameter. This obtains according to ASC for this parameter, and you can obtain you can write codes for the Excel. I show you in this parameter. For example, for beam. For beam, this parameter and export to the SAP 2000. This parameter general sections, and obtains this parameter FY and FU strength and ABC and IOLS and CP for ASC according to ASC. And this parameter and copy and paste this parameter for the perform. And for another brace and viscous damper is similar. And for example, fluid damper for viscous, for up to viscous. For viscous, in according to equal parameter, force equal C, damping is deformation rate, and equal N. In this parameter, according to parameter, is you can use it. This optim parameter you can use it is catalog for viscous damper, catalog company for viscous, or other parameter for article is up to this parameter. and another this parameter for the you can define the drift for any parameter is any story, and base shear, and you can after the limit state for the element. For example, deformations IO columns, this element group columns, element type columns, component type firma columns, and deformation type column and rotation. And you can define is return step is you can performance level is 1 2 3 4 5. For example, is IO is 1, limit is limit on this ratio, the member capacity is 1, is added. For another this parameter LS is number 2, and CP to primary or secondary is 3 and 4. For beam and is similar. And other after go to the analysis phase. Go to analysis phase. You can define this parameter. For example, for earthquake is earthquake Turkey, Nostrich, and Nostrich return period area 2014-75 is a Nostrich and Turkey. And after they go to the analysis, you can define is a load analysis stories for any records. And now I would like run analysis for the time story is Turkey, Nostrich, and Nostrich 2000. For example, and you can is consider these limitations for parallel one limited 4, and physical core is 2, and you can this condition your system's laptop is if would score is 4, you can power limit analysis is 4. Is your analysis is faster and is very good. For example, I would like run analysis for Turkey. Select check mark and Nostrich. For example, is 2 is enough. For example, and go analysis. I am waiting for the analysis result. Is stop this gravity load is stop start and finish the gravity, and after the earthquake, after the gravity and the earthquake is start. And I would like is analysis. I hope this analysis is very fast. And the run analysis is approximately finished. Turkey earthquake is finished. And the Nostrich earthquake is like it take ages. Is the time I'm waiting for the finish the earthquake. And the analysis is finished, and the green page is finished, and press the OK, and go to the model analysis result. For example, is the first mode periods is 1.29 mode number. For example, plot, animate, press the animate, is show the result. And the effective mass factor is HEC is X, for example, and the mode number 2, animate, is H2, is effective mass factor for the modes, H2, is torsion. Is the torsion modes is H and H2 is very near. Under the Turkey and ostrich. First, I would like show the result, and after I come back the energy balance for the every element. And you should if you would like for define the limited state group for each element is for example IOLS CP is drift for the parameter, for example IO, and select the deformations and name every element IO, select added, for example IO column and IO beam and IO brace in add, select IO column add, and for example IO beam add is each group for limit state each group is in group, for example. And after the define, and you would like two color for the this element. For example, you can define for the entire element, all the element is color, or component or the color is for example a frame hinge. And entire element are color, and go to the limited states, and after last steps, you have groups for each limited states. For example, IO, LS, and CP. For example, IO selects, and color group for usage ratio. In you can change this ratio if you wish. And for example, I would like life safety secondary. You can select 2. Is ratio is better. And you can series for example series Turkey or ostrich, and case is ostrich. It's up to you. Is the first for each earthquake, and check the parameter. For example, and press the plot. Is reading display, and after the ostrich earthquake plots and passer click, I would like to show the result for the ostrich earthquake. This time is very low. Stop is true. And after it started to be change the color, it's blue. and the time is 7, and the old component is changed, is green and yellow. Is the result that is most beam is after the plastic hinge. The dissipated energy is beam is very high. This result shows that distributed plastic hinge is very good. Life safety. Another component is beams over the life safety. This number of the element for the blood is increasing. And they stop the analysis, and the point is end of the analysis is most of the beams is life safety is over the life safety. And go to the time history result. For example, displacement, accelerations, velocity, or drift result over sections, or the element. For example, I would like is dissipated energy for the beam is consider. For example, this beam, and this element FEMA beam is still type 1, end moment and end rotation. For example, force unit kilonewton meter and plot. And after I would like check the hysteresis loops, for example these beams, and the type is change the FEMA beam is still type 1, and moment and rotations, a unit kilonewton meter, and press the plot. And this dissipated energy shows this result. It's about 40 kilonewtons. Is 40 dissipated energy is very good. For example, I would like check the story 1 and press plot. This show the result is hysteresis loop is very good for the perform. And I would like change the brace the result. For example, this element, and the type is still bar, and type of the axial force and axial strain. You need the kilonewton and plot. Its dissipated energy is very good for the performance. Its sub is not very exactly. Is a problem. And the performance is very good. Hysteresis looked for the especially these compressions. And cause plot. And another element. And plot. It's very good. This element is hysteresis loop is very good. And I would like show the result this viscous damper. Viscous damper this for this building optimal for the viscous damper is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I would like check for the viscous damper dissipated energy. For example, this point. Add no type is fluid damper and force and deformations. A unit to kilonewton. Its dissipated energy for the viscous damper is about 200 is kilonewton is very good, and another viscous plot. This dissipated energy is very good, and this point plot, and this very good. Dissipated energy is very good, and this plot is very, dissipated energy is very good, and I would like check the result for the usage ratio graph. And this, for example, I would like select groups, life safety, and plot. It shows that this red color for the life safety is over this parameter. For example, this one is okay, and the dissipated limited state is over. Right click. Oh, and this beam is over the life safety. And go to the old drift or the combination enveloped. Before show the combination envelopment, I would like show the dissipated energy. And for example, I would like check the elastic columns dissipated energy. This is not dissipated energy for the columns and beams. It's 60 over the 60% is dissipated energy for the beams, and the brace is very low, is 5%, and the viscous damper dissipated energy is over this 33%. Is approximately 30% for the viscous damper dissipated energy, and all the structure dissipated energy plot is show the dissipated energy for the beam, column as brace is red, and the pink color for the dissipated energy for viscous damper is very good. And the next steps for the I would like check the result for the Northridge and Turkey earthquake. For example, I would like check the life safety and this or new, for example, to write the name, for example, CP, and the structure is combination methods, maximum or maximum, max or min, for example, max, and the groups. The groups is service Turkey, the first Turkey, and for the life safety added the Turkey and added the Northridge, these combinations, and check the result. Plot, and this dissipated energy is over the life safety or CP. These items is number 1 and number 2. Number 1 is Turkey earthquake, and number 2 is Northridge earthquake. And the maximum is for CP brace and CP beam. We click the states is 1.5 is over the CP, and the Turkey is 0.65. And the groups elements and this result is very good, and you can define for a maximum 50 define for the check the records and plots and envelop this result. For example, I would like old rift is the rift, and come back hysteresis loop and time history result. For example, I would like displacement for centimeter. This roof is under the Northridge case. Translation H1. 65 centimeter, and drift or absolute accelerations. Is time ranges is 2G. 2G is acceleration roof is 2G is very good, and under the and you can show the result for the element, for example moment and shear diagrams, enveloped only, or moment and shear diagram time history, and select the beam, for example these beams, and the units, added the elevated or end displacement I or J, force kilometer, centimeter, for example, and under the series Northridge earthquake, and the case the Northridge. It's take ages for the result. You need to have patience and change the faster and the slots.